welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. It looks like really quickly my channel is becoming a Three Nephites channel because I'm getting a lot of good uh, information, a lot of good things to look at from a couple different people. And this is the one that first came in after I did my last video about the Three Nephites. So I don't have it up here on the screen, it's on another tab, but I got an email from Chris. Chris and his family, they are Native Americans who live in Western New York, New York State. Okay. And he watched my video. He sent it to his mom. And then she responded and she said, Chris, I listened to your YouTube video. Here's what I think. Why not find the man's address, referring to me, tell him that you're LDS, refer him to Parker on the Iroquois by William Fenton. He can read about the three messengers that appeared to the Seneca prophet, Handsome Lake. I tried to follow through, but no success, so you do it. Sometimes it's hard for people to find my email address. It's in the description of each video, but like if you're on a smartphone, it's a little tricky getting there. There's like just this little arrow that you click on, and then you can find it. But anyway, and then she says, also, let him know that the first mission after Ziba Peterson. Okay, so Ziba Peterson, I looked that up. You know the mission to the Lamanites back in the early days of the church. So after that very early mission to the Lamanites, the first one after that, I'm assuming from what she's saying here, to Native Americans, was to the Cattaraugus Reservation in 1947. Now is a struggling branch in middle of Cattaraugus territory. Let's see. My name is Christine. I forwarded your... Okay, so Chris is short for... Okay, so my name is Christine. I forwarded your message onto my family, and my mom's response is above in regards to your YouTube message. And then we are a Native American family who resides in Western New York. My mom educated me also. So it's so cool getting contact from you guys, Christine, and what your mom referred me to seems pretty amazing. I wasn't able to read the whole thing, but we're probably going to do that right here, right now in this video. It just depends. It's kind of long, but like from what I was kind of like skimming through, it really looked quite interesting. It's basically a man that was sick and dying, and I think he did die, came back. We're going to read it. And then he was having these messengers come to him, these three messengers, and everything that I was reading, it sounded like it was pretty in tune with the church and the gospel. So first, okay, like I always like to do, I don't like to just read things. I want to know what it is that I'm reading, where it comes from. So this is a book, Parker on the Iroquois. Iroquois uses of maize and other food plants, the Code of Handsome Lake, the Seneca Prophet, the Constitution of the Five Nations. Okay, so first, let's look at the Iroquois. Okay, well, if you want to buy this book, by the way, this is on Amazon. And it looks like this one is a used one, but I might actually want to buy this for myself in the future. Okay, so who are the Iroquois? Okay, the Iroquois, or the Haudenosaunee, people of the Longhouse, or Ongwe, real human beings. And it seems that who they are, they're kind of... Okay, let me read this because I feel like this kind of explains it better, this Britannica article. Iroquois, any member of the North American Indian tribes speaking a language of the Iroquoian family. Okay. And then, so you have this larger group of people that speak a language of the Iroquoian family. It says here, notably, the Cayuga, Cherokee, Huron, Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, the Seneca. See, the Seneca, because this is the Seneca prophet that we're going to be reading about, and Tuscarora. The peoples who spoke Iroquois languages occupied a continuous territory around Lakes Ontario, Huron, in Erie in present day New York State. So see, you see why this family, they're from Western New York, so they're part of this tribe. They're still there today. And Pennsylvania, U.S., and Southern Ontario and Quebec, Canada. So just for a visual, if you're more of a visual person, here's a map on the Wikipedia article. We'll zoom in, and we're talking about this area right here. See, Michigan, New York State, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Ohio, so on and so forth. Okay, now it says that larger group, the ones that speak the language, that larger group should be differentiated from the five nations, later Six Nations, better known as the Iroquois Confederacy. And so uh, that group, I believe it's these right here. One, two, three, four, five. No, it's under here. The Great Peace, Great Law of Peace. Among the Haudenosaunee, the Six Nations, comprising the Mohawk, Onondaga, Oneida, Cayuga, Seneca, and Tuscarora peoples. So these six comprise that confederation, the Iroquois Confederacy. Okay, but anyone that's not in those groups they're considered Iroquois. So the Iroquois Confederacy versus just the larger Iroquois group. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so anyway, in today's video, we're focusing in on someone that's from the Seneca. Okay, the Seneca. All right, so going back here. So this is actually written by Arthur C. Parker. Okay, and who is he? Okay, here's a picture of him, first of all. This is Arthur C. Parker. Okay, and he, excuse me. Okay, Arthur C. Parker was among the most important Native American scholars and intellectuals of the 20th century. This is according to encyclopedia.com. Of an ethnically diverse background, he has a complex figure familiar from childhood from both Native American and European American cultures, but not always fully at home in either atmosphere. Parker's writings on the Seneca and Iroquois cultures are still read and used today by anthropologists. Okay, so he's like an authority on this subject matter. And then the book was edited and given an introduction by William N. Fenton. And let me read a little bit about him. This is also from encyclopedia.com. Fenton was most noted as an expert on the Iroquois people, about whom he published many books. He went on to study anthropology in school, earned uh, a bachelor's degree from Dartmouth College in 1931 and a PhD from Yale University in 1937. He then taught at St. Lawrence University for 3 years before joining the Smithsonian Institute as an associate anthropologist in 1939. Okay, so these are two people that they really know the Iroquois. Okay, and the Iroquois, as we know, it's a group of people that speak a language. But then when we're talking about the Iroquois Confederacy, it's those first the originally five, and then later the six groups that had the great law of peace. Okay. So this book covers several different things, like it says here: Iroquois uses of maize and other food plants, the Code of Handsome Lake, and then what we're focusing in on is the Seneca Prophet. The Seneca Prophet. And boy, oh boy, is this interesting. Okay, it's on page 22, but it's like after, here, let me just, take me just a second to find it. It's not this. Now I'm looking at a preview. This is on Google Books, so it doesn't have all the pages. So this isn't going to be like a comprehensive account. I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to read of this, but I'm going to read some, if not all of it, because it's amazing how many of these communications have been recorded about this incident. And it sounds like Christine's mom And I understand why. I don't know if they believe that this is probably the three Nephites, and it also it starts talking about a fourth, which would most likely be John the Revelator, because he's also in the same state, right? He's translated. Okay, so okay, I'm just gonna start. Um, I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna zoom in case anyone wants to follow along. Let's see if I can use the arrow keys. Yes, I can. That's how I'll do it. Okay, so we're on page 22 of this book. Okay, if you want to buy it, you want to find it. Now, the sick man's bed is beside the fire. At night, he looks up through the chimney hole and sees the stars, and he thanks the great ruler that he can see them, for he knows that he, the creator, has made them. Now, it comes to him that because of these new thoughts, he may obtain help to arise from his bed and walk again in this world. Then again, he despairs that he will ever see the new day because of his great weakness. Then again, he has confidence that he will see the new day, and so he lives and sees it. For everything he sees, he is thankful. He thinks of the Creator and thanks him for the things he sees. Now he hears the birds singing, and he thanks the great ruler for their music. So then he thinks that a thankful heart will help him. Now, this man has been sick 4 years, but he feels that he will now recover. And the name of the sick man is Ganyo Dio Io, council chief, Hoyane. The strange death of the sick man. Now, at this time, the daughter of the sick man and her husband are sitting outside the house in the shed, and the sick man is within alone. The door is ajar. Now, the daughter and her husband are cleaning beans for the planting. Suddenly, they hear the sick man exclaim, "Neo!" I'm trying to give the story life. "Neo!" Then they hear him rising in his bed, and they think how he is but yellow skin and dried bones from 4 years of sickness in bed. Now they hear him walking over the floor toward the door. Then the daughter looks up and sees her father coming out of doors. He totters and he rises quickly to catch him, and she rises quickly to catch him, but he falls dying. Now they lift him up and carry him back within the house and dress him for burial. Now he is dead. Okay. The people gather about the dead man. Then the daughter says to her husband, "Run quickly and notify his nephew, Ta'awanyas, that he who was lain so many years in bed has gone. Bid him come immediately." So the husband runs to carry the message to Ta'awanyas, and Ta'awanyas says, "Truly so. Now hasten to Gayantawaka, the brother of the dead man, and say that he who lay sick for so many years is dead. So now go and say this." So the husband goes alone to where Gayant Waka lives, and when he has spoken, the wife says, uh, Gayant Waka is at the island planting. So he goes there and says, "Gayant Waka, your brother is dead. Uh, he who was sick for so many years is dead. Go at once to his bed." Then Gayantwaka answers, "Truly, but first I must finish covering this small patch of seed. Then when I hoe over it, I will come." Now he who notifies is Hatguyot, the husband of the father, the husband of the daughter of Ganyo Dayoyo. So now he returns home. Now everyone hearing of the death of the sick man goes to where he lies. Now first comes Ta'awanyas. He touches the dead man on every part of his body. Now he feels a warm spot on his chest. And then Ta'awanyas says, "Hold back your sadness, friends, for he had discovered the warm spot, and because of this, he tells the people that perhaps the dead man may revive." Now many people are weeping, and the speaker sits down by his head. Now, after some time, Gayantwaka comes in and feels over the body of the dead, and he too discovers the warm spot, but says nothing but sits silently down at the feet of the dead man. And for many hours, no one speaks. Now, it is the early morning, and the dew is drying. This is a time of trouble, for he lies dead. Now, continually, Ta'awanyas feels over the body of the dead man. He notices that the warm spot is spreading. Now the time is noon, and he feels the warm blood pulsing in his veins. Now his breath comes, and now he opens his eyes. Okay, next page. The dead man revives. Now Ta'awanyas is speaking. Are you well? What think you? Now the people notice that the man is moving his lips as if speaking, but no words come. Now this is near the noon hour. Now all are silent while Ta'awanyas asks again, my uncle, are you feeling well? Then comes the answer, yes, I believe myself well. So these are the first words Ganyo Daio spoke. Now, then he speaks again, saying, never have I seen such wondrous visions. Now, at first I heard someone speaking. Someone spoke and said, come out a while, and said this 3 times. Now, since I saw no one speaking, I thought that in my sickness I myself was speaking, but I thought again and found that it was not my voice. So I called out boldly, Neo, and arose and went out. And there, standing in the clear, swept space, I saw 3 men clothed in fine, clean raiment. Now, here's where it's starting with potentially the 3 Nephites, which is amazing. If you didn't watch the last video, it was an account from Orson Pratt where he was talking about essentially Native Americans that were being visited in their dreams by 3 men, men that were telling them to go and find, uh, Joseph Smith, elders, and go get baptized. So apparently, they are able to appear in visions, dreams, stuff like that. Okay, so 3 men clothed in fine, clean raiment. Their cheeks were painted red, and it seemed that they had been painted the day before. Only a few feathers were in their bonnets. All 3 were alike, and all seemed middle-aged. So, kind of like me. Uh, Never before have I seen such handsome, commanding men, and they had in one hand bows and arrows as canes. Now in their other hands were huckleberry bushes, and the berries were of every color. Then said the beings, addressing me, he who created the world at the beginning employed us to come to earth. Our visit now is not the only one we have made. He commanded us, saying, go once more down upon the earth, and this time visit him who thinks of me. He is grateful for my creations. Moreover, he wishes to rise from sickness and walk in health upon the earth. Go you and help him to recover. Then said the messengers, take these berries and eat of every color. They will give you strength, and your people with us will help you rise. So I took and ate the berries. Then said the beings, on the morrow we will have it, sorry, on the morrow we will have it that a fire will be in the bushes and a medicine steeped to give you strength. We will appoint Agis Coathe and Giant Gogwus, a man and his wife, to make the medicine. Now they are the best of the medicine people. Early in the morning we will see them, and at that time you will have the medicine for your use. And before noon, the unused medicine will be cast away because you will have recovered. Now, moreover, before noon, many people will gather at the council house. These people will be your relatives and will see you. They will have gathered the early strawberries and made a strawberry feast, and moreover, will have strawberry wine sweetened with sugar. Then we'll all drink the juice of the berry and thank the Creator for your recovery. And moreover, they severally will call upon you by your name as a relative according as you are. Now, when the day came, I went as appointed, and all the people saw me coming as it was predicted. Okay, the message of the four beings. So now we're talking about four instead of three. Now the messengers spoke to me and said that they would now tell me how things ought to be upon the earth. They said, "Do not allow anyone to say that you have had great fortune in being able to rise again. The favor of the four beings is not alone for you, and the Creator is willing to help all mankind." Now, on that same day, the Great Father and the harvest dances were to be celebrated, and at this time the beings told me that my relatives would restore me. "Your feelings and spirits are low," they said, "and must be aroused. Then will you obtain power to recover. Verily, the servants of the Creator, Hadyo Ya Giono, said this. Now, moreover, they commanded that henceforth dances of this same kind should be held and thanksgiving offered whenever the strawberries were ripe. Moreover, they said that the juice of the blueberry must be drunk by the children and the aged the and all the people. Sorry, taking Benjamin for a drive. Yeah. Okay. Truly, all must drink of the berry juice, for they said that the sweet water of the berries was a medicine, and that the early strawberries were a great medicine. So they bade me tell this story to my people when I moved upon the earth again. Now they said, "We shall continually reveal things unto you. We, the servants of him who made us, say that as he employed us to come unto you to reveal his will, so you must carry it to your people." All right, so now he's becoming like a prophet. It's the Seneca prophet. Now we are they whom he created when he made the world, and our duty is to watch over and care for mankind. Now there are four of us, but the fourth is not here present. When we called you by name and you heard, he returned to tell the news. So this is an interesting concept because if this is the three Nephites and John, if this is a true story, then it would mean that basically they work together occasionally. Maybe they're not always working separate. Maybe sometimes they, um, work on things together, collaborate. Of course, it's not really collaboration, it's working under the direction of the Lord. But anyway, this will bring joy into the heaven world of our Creator. So it is that the fourth is not with us, but you shall see him at another time. And when that time is at hand, you shall know. Now, furthermore, we must remind you of the evil things that you have done, and you must repent of all things you believe to have been evil. You think that you have done wrong because of Ogiwi Yeondatha and Gonewowo, and because you partook of strong drink. Verily, you must do as you think. Verily, you must do as you think, for whatsoever ye think is evil is evil. So that sounds like they're calling attention to the fact that everybody has a conscience. We all have the light of Christ, and we really do know when things are bad. I kind of get that sense here. Like, you thought it was evil. You really knew that it was evil, um, and yeah, it's evil. Okay, Ganyo Daio commanded to proclaim the Gaiwio. And now behold, look through the valley between two hills, look between the sunrise and the noon. So I looked, and in the valley there was a deeper hollow from which smoke was arising in steam as if a hot place were beneath. Then spoke the messenger, saying, "What do you see?" And I answered, "I see a place in the valley from which smoke is arising, and it is also steaming as a hot place were beneath." Then said the beings, "Truly you have spoken. It is the truth. In that place a man is buried. He lies between the two hills in the hollow in the valley, and a great message is buried with him. Oh, interesting. See, I haven't read this part. Uh, once he commanded that men, sorry, once we commanded that man to proclaim that message to the world, but he refused to obey. Oh gosh. So now he will never rise from that spot, for he refused to obey. So now to you, therefore, we say, proclaim that the message that we give you and tell it truly before all people. Well, that's no pressure. Uh, now the first thing has been finished, and it remains for us to uncover all wickedness before you. So they said. Okay, the great message. This is the next uh, big section here in the book. Section 1. Now the beings spoke, saying, we must now relate our message. We will uncover the evil upon the earth and show how men spoil the laws the great ruler has made, and thereby made him angry. The Creator made man a living creature. 4 words tell a great story of wrong, and the Creator is sad because of the trouble they bring. So go and tell your people. The first word is onega. It seems that you never have known that this word stands for a great and monstrous evil, and has reared a high mound of bones. Ganegoantho tha, you lose your minds, and onega causes it all. Alas, many are found of it, and are too fond of it. So now, all must now say, I will use it nevermore. As long as I live, as long as the number of my days is, I will never use it again. I now stop. So must all say when they hear this message. Now the beings, the servants of the great ruler, the messengers of him who created us, said this. Furthermore, they said that the Creator made onega and gave it to your younger brethren, the white man, as a medicine, but they use it for evil, for they drink it for other purposes than medicine, and drink instead of work, and idlers drink onega. No, the Creator did not make it for you. So they said, and he said, Enya ihuk. Section 2. Now spoke the beings and said, we now speak of the second word. This makes the Creator angry. The word is got gon. Oh, and look at this. In the footnotes, it says, for the first part, whiskey or rum. Footnote 2 says it was that way. Footnote 3. Okay, so footnote 3 is with got gon. A certain number of the Seneca Iroquois still cling to the belief in witchcraft, although they are loath to admit it to anyone in whom they have not implicit confidence. While they assert that witchcraft was introduced among them by some Algonquin tribe, which they had adopted, their early legends and traditions contain many allusions to witches and witchcraft. There are at least 2 distinct methods employed by witches to accomplish their ends. The first, it is claimed, is the older way, and is the employment. I'm gonna have to of what is described by informants as analogous to malefic mental suggestion, either verbal or telepathic. Such witches were able to assume the form of ancient monsters, the Niaguahe or mammoth bear being the favorite form. They had power of transforming people into beasts, of imprisoning them within trees without destroying the human nature or sensibilities of their victims. Many stories are related of how chivalrous young men fresh from the dream fast were able to release the unhappy prisoners from the spells that bound them. The second and modern class of witches work their evil spells by introducing into the bodies of their victims by supernatural means a small needle-like splinter pointed on either end and having a central eye to which was tied the hair of the witch, a splinter of bone from the fibula of a deer, a worm, uh, but worms don't have bones, or some like object. Instances where where such things have been drawn from bewitched persons are commonly reported. A witch can work fearlessly and successfully as long as she remains unknown to the victim and under some circumstances even when known. A witched person is often able to see. Sorry, I'm reading the footnotes. I because this will give us the context for the message from the three. A witched person is often able to see, as in a vision, the witch wherever she goes, and is likewise able to tell when she is about to to approach the house, which is fear the threat of an angry person to kill them. Such a threat, if an earnest one, is an effectual charm against further annoyance. To burn the object that a witch has introduced into one's body will torture the witch and kill her. Oh, well, so I guess there's, it's risky. Yeah. Okay, such objects are not often burned. If revenge is desired, the victim, if sufficiently angry, can throw the object through space and injure the witch wherever he wishes. A person who successfully resists and destroys another witch's power may become a witch, if so desired. To torture a witch, okay, maybe we don't need to go into all that. Okay, so witches are, so this is now continuing with the main thing. Witches are people without their right minds. They make disease and spread sickness to make the living die. They cut short the numbered days, for the Creator has given each person a certain number of days in which to live in this world. Now, this must you do. When you have told this message and the witches hear it, they will confess before all the people and will say, I am doing this evil thing, but now I cease it forever, as long as I live. Some witches are more evil and cannot speak in public, so these must come privately and confess to you. Handsome Lake or a preacher of this Gaiwayo. Okay, so they have to do like a confession. Handsome Lake or a preacher of this Gaiwayo. Now some are most evil, and they must go far out upon an abandoned trail, and there they must go to the next page. Confess before the Creator alone. This course may be taken by witches of whom no one knows. Now, when they go, they must say, Our Creator, oh, listen to me. I am a miserable creature. For sure. I think that way. So now I cease. Now this is appointed for all my days, as long as I live here in this earth world, I have spoken. Okay, good. In this manner, all must say and say truly, then the prayer will be sufficient. So they said, and he said, in hook. Section 3. Now the being spoke again, saying, This is the third word. It is a sad one that the Creator is very sad because of this third word. It seems that you have never known that a great pile of human bodies lies dead because of this word. Ono it iyende, the nig- nigahausaha, the secret poisons in little bundles. Okay, the secret poisons in little bundles named Gawen Nodasaha, compelling charms. Now, the Creator who made us commands that they who do this evil, when they hear this message, must stop it immediately and do it nevermore while they live upon this earth world. It matters not how much destruction they have wrought, let them repent and not fail or fear the Creator will not accept them as his own. See, and this is very in line with our church, um, because we know that you can repent of anything except for the unpardonable sin. Um, I'm not going to go into that, but like, there's basically nothing you can really do in this life that you can't repent of. Um, you know, so this is like a message of hope. You've done this; it's made the Creator mad, but there's hope, and you can change your ways. So they said, and he said, "Inia a hook." Section 4. Now another word. It is sad. It is the fourth word. It is the way It is the way Yande Wenias Sawias. Now the Creator ordained that woman should bear children. Now a certain young married woman had children and suffered much. Now she is with child again, and her mother, wishing to prevent further sufferings, designs to administer a medicine to cut off the child and prevent forever other children from coming. Oh, now this is getting into uh, a hot topic of right now. So the mother makes the medicine and gives it. Now, when she does this, she forever cuts away her daughter's string of children. Now, it is because of such things that the Creator is sad. He created life to live, and he wishes such evils to cease. He wishes those who employ such medicines to cease such practices forevermore. Now, they must stop when they hear this message. Go and tell your people. So they said, and he said, Inyaya Hook. Um, let's look at this first footnote. Charms. Should a person die holding a secret, one may discover it by sleeping upon the ground with a handful of the grave dirt beneath his head. Then, if all the conditions are perfect, the dead person will appear in 3 successive visions and reveal its mystery. Okay, so let's see. Number 2, meaning she cuts it off by that word, the hot topic word. It's just I there's reasons why I omit certain words. Just don't worry about it. The Iroquois knew of such an herb. I find it mentioned by Dr. Peter Wilson, the Cayuga, and it was pointed out to me at Onondaga in 1911. The Seneca in Onondaga belief is that every woman has a certain number of children predestined to them, in that they are fastened on a string-like runner with like tubers or like eggs within a bird. Interesting. Okay, section 6. Now another message. Go tell your people that the great ruler is sad because of what people do. The Creator has made it so that the married should live together and that children should grow from them. You see how this like fits in so perfectly with specifically our church. It's talking about alcohol, it's talking about witchcraft, it's talking about preventing life from forming. Now it's like talking about family values, marriage, children. Okay. Now, it often happens that it is only a little while when people are married that the husband speaks evil of his wife because he does not wish to care for her children. Now, a man who does that stirs up trouble with his wife and soon deserts her and his children. Then he searches for another woman, and when he has found her, he marries her. Excuse me. Then, when he finds her with child, he goes away from her and leaves her alone. Again, he looks for another woman, and when he has lived with her for a time and sees her growing large, he deserts her, the third woman. Now this is true. We, the messengers, saw him leave the 2 women, and the Creator himself saw him desert the third and punished him. Now a sure torment in the afterlife is for him who leaves 2 women with child, but the Creator alone knows what the punishment is for the man who leaves the third. So they said, and he said, Iniyaheuk. Section 7. Now another message. The Creator has ordered that man and wife should rear their children well, love them, and keep them in health. This is the Creator's rule. We, the messengers, have seen both men and women desert each other when children come. The woman discovers that the man, her husband, loves his child, and she is very jealous and spreads evil reports of him. Oh my gosh. She does this for an excuse before the world to leave him. Thus, the messengers say that the Creator desires men and women to cease such mischief. So they said, and he said, Enya Hehuk. I want you guys to repeat with me at the end of each of these sections, Enya Hehuk. Say it out loud, so I'm not the only one. Section 8. Now another message. Tell your people that the Creator has ordered regular marriage customs. When the young people are old enough to marry, tell them so. When they marry, they will live pleasantly. Now, it may happen that the girl's mother discovers that she is very happy. with her husband. Then she endeavors to make her daughter angry with her husband. Then when he returns from a journey. But when the husband returns, the young wife forgets the evil advice and greets him lovingly. Now the older woman, the mother, seeing this, speaks again, hoping to stir up an ill feeling. Says the old woman, "My daughter, your spirits are dull, you are not bright. When I was young, I was not so agreeable. I was harsh with my husband. Now the Creator is sad because of the tendency of old women to breed mischief." So this is against mothers-in-law. Um, just kidding. Such work must stop. Tell your people it must stop. Okay, here we go. So they said, and he said, Enya Hehuk. Section 10. Now another message to tell your people. The married often live well together for a while. Then a man becomes ugly in temper and abuses his wife. It seems to afford him pleasure. Now, because of such things, the Creator is very sad. Notice how in this it's focusing on sad rather than anger so much. And I really think that that's the true nature of God. Of course, he gets angry, but like it's more like sadness. Wanting things to not be, wanting us to choose better, to not make bad decisions. Um, anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. So he bids us to tell you that such evils must stop. Neither man nor woman must strike each other. So they said. So this is talking about domestic abuse. Um, Now, furthermore, they said, we will tell you what people must do. It is the way he calls best. Love one another and do not strive for another's undoing. Even as you desire good treatment, so render it. Treat your wife well, and she will treat you well. So they said, and he said, Inyehayok. Okay. So yeah, look at that. Love one another and do not strive for another's undoing. And then before that it says, it is the way he calls best. Yeah, because it's the two great commandments. Love God and then love your neighbor with all your heart. Um, well, love God and love your neighbor. Section 11. Now another message to tell your people. This concerns short marriages. Now some live together peaceably and keep the family as should be. Then after a time the man resolves to go off on a hunting excursion in the woods for a certain number of days. So he goes, having agreed with his wife about it. All is well, and he returns with a load of game. He feels well and thinks he is doing well in thus providing for his family. On his way homeward, he meets someone who tells him that in his absence, his wife has been living with another man. When he hears this report, he feels sad and angry. He refuses to go to his home and turns from his path and goes to his relatives. Now, whoever makes mischief of this kind does a great wrong before the Creator. So he bids his people to forever stop such evil practices. So they said, and he said, Enyaheuk. Okay, section 12. Now another message. Now this concerns both husband and wife. Now it may happen that a man and wife live together happily. At length, the man thinks that he will go to another settlement to visit relatives there. His wife agrees and he goes. Now, when he gets to the village, he induces some agreeable woman to live with him, saying he is single. Then, after some time, the man goes back to his own family. His family treats him cordially, as if no trouble had occurred. Now, we, the messengers, say that the woman is good in the eyes of her Creator and has a place reserved for her in the heaven world. Now, the woman knew all that had been done in the other settlement, but she thought it best to be peaceful and remain silent. And the Creator says that she is right in her path toward the heaven world, but he, the man, is on his way to the house of the wicked one. Interesting, the wicked one. That's a reference to Satan. So they said, and he said, Eniyaheuk. Section 13. Now another message. This concerns a certain thing that human creatures follow. It is concerning Gak no wahat. Some men desire constant new experience. Some men are always following Yeon. Um, Now, it is a great evil for men to have such desires. The this is a thing that the so sinful must confess. A man who desires to know Gagwigo, Yeon Sho, will never be satisfied, for Yeon will arise whom he can not know, and he will fall flat. Now we, the messengers, say that all this is sinful, and men must not follow such desires. So they said, and he said, Inyahayuk. Let's look at the footnotes here. Handsome Lake was ever the lover and champion of children. There are many instances in the Gaiwio relating to the care and rearing of children. The mode of punishment here referred to was one of long usage. Sometimes the mother would fill her mouth with water and blow it into the face of the little offender, repeating until obedience was enforced. Punishment by violence, as by whipping or striking, was discountenanced. Okay, and then it continues, but let's move on to section 14. Now another message. This is what your people do. An old woman punished her children unjustly. The Creator is sad because of such things and bids us tell you that such practices must cease. So they said. Now, this is the way ordained by the Creator. Talk slowly and kindly to children and never punish them unjustly. When a child will not obey, let the mother say, come to the water and I will immerse you. If after this warning the child is still obstinate, she must take it to the water's edge and say, do you now obey? And she must say so again, and if at the third time there is no obedience, then the child must be thrust in the water. But if the child cries for mercy, you must have it, and the woman must not throw it into the water. If the child does, she does evil. Uh, right, and that's that would be the same. Not talking about dunking your children in water, but as far as like patience, being kind, and not just like letting them go and do whatever, but like exercising as much patience, mercy, understanding as possible first. That's the correct way. So they said, and he said, Inya Hayuk. Section 15. Now, another message of things not right. Parents disregard the warnings of their children. Okay. Parents disregard the warnings of their children. When a child says, Mother, I want you to stop wrongdoing, the child speaks straight words, and the Creator says that the child speaks right, and the mother must obey. Furthermore, the Creator proclaims that such words from a child are wonderful, and that the mother who disregards them takes the wicked part. The mother may reply, Daughter, stop your noise. I know better than you. I am the older, and you are but a child. Think not that you can influence me by your speaking. Now, when you tell this message to your people, say that it is wrong to speak to children in such words. So they said, and he said, Eniyaheuk. Section 16. Now, another message. Tell your people that the Creator is sad because of what they are doing. Some people live together well as man and wife and family, but the man of the family uses strong drink. Then, when he comes home, he lifts up his child to fondle it, and he is drunk. Now, we, the messengers of the Creator, say that this is not right. For if a man filled with strong drink touches his child, he burns its blood. Tell your people to heed this warning. So they said, and he said, Indiahiok. Section 17. Now another message. Some people live together righteously as man and wife, according as the Creator ordained, but they have no child. When this is so, let this be the way. If the wife's sister has children, of these let the wife without issue take 1 to 3 and rear them, and thereby fulfill her duty to the Creator. Moreover, when a woman takes children, she must rear them well as if born of herself. We, the messengers, say that you must tell. Okay. We, the messengers, say that you must tell this to your people. So they said, and he said, Eniyahiuk. Section 18. Now another message. Tell your people that oft times when a woman hears that a child is born and goes to see it, she returns and says in many houses where she stops that its mother's husband is not its father. Now, we say that it is exceedingly wrong to speak such evil of children. The Creator formed the children as they are, therefore, let the people stop their evil sayings. So they said, and he said, Eniyahiok. And, this right here, this is basically gossip, right? Gossiping. Okay, section 19. Now another message. Now the Creator of mankind ordained that people should live to an old age. He appointed that when a woman becomes old, she should be without strength and unable to work. Now the Creator says that it is a great wrong to be unkind to our grandmothers. The Creator forbids unkindness to the old. We, the messengers, say it. The Creator appointed this way. He designed that an old woman should be as a child again, and when she becomes so, the Creator wishes the grandchildren to help her, for only because she is, they are. Whosoever does right to the aged does right in the sight of the Creator. So they said, and he said, Inyahuk. So many words. Okay. So many words. Odiwagade. End of first day's preaching. Oh my gosh, that was just the first day. Uh, Recitation of the second day. Section 20. Now another message. A way that was followed. Sometimes a mother is ready to feed her family. When she is ready to bid them sit down, she glances out and sees someone coming and straightway hides the food. A woman visitor comes in. Now, after some conversation, the visitor says she is unwell and goes out. Then the family commences to eat. And the Creator says that who follow such tricks must repent as soon as they hear this message, for such practices are most wicked. Now the messengers said this. Now the Creator made food for all creatures, and it must be free for all. He ordained that people should live in communities. Now when visitors enter a lodge, the woman must always say, Sedekoni, come eat. Now it is not right to refuse what is offered. The visitor must take 2 or 3 bites at least and say, Neo Wayan, tell this to your people. So they said, and he said, Ini Hayok. Yeah, see, so if you have it, and you see that someone is in need, bless them with what you've been blessed, and then don't reject help. Okay, section 21. Now another message. Now this is right. When a woman hears children playing near her lodge, she must call them in and ask them to eat. The Creator says that this is right, for some children are of poor parents and have little to eat. The Creator loves poor children, and whosoever feeds the poor and unfortunate does right before him. So they said, and he said, Inia Heog. Section 22. Now another message. When a woman sees an unfortunate girl who has neither parents nor settled home and calls her in and helps her repair her clothing, cleanse herself, and comb her hair, she has done right and has favor in the sight of her Creator. He loves the poor, and the woman does right before him. So we, the messengers, say that you must tell your people to continue to do this thing. So they said, and he said, Ini Hayuk. Section 23. Now another message. The Creator is sad because of the sins of the beings that he created. He ordained that mankind should live as social beings in communities. Now, it may happen that a woman sets out to destroy good feelings between neighbors by telling uh, godiodiase, stories that augment by repetition. So, exaggeration, there's another word I'm thinking of. Exaggeration, embellishing. Okay. Now, this woman goes to a house and says, I love you, and because I do, I will tell you a secret. The woman in the next house speaks evil of you. Now heretofore the two women had been friends, but upon hearing the story, the woman becomes an enemy of her former friend. Then the evil storyteller goes to the woman whom she lied about and tells her the hard words that the other woman has spoken. Then is the liar happy, having started a feud, and she hastens from house to house to tell of it. Now great troubles arise, and soon a fight, and one woman causes it all. Therefore, the Creator is very sad. Tell your people that such things must stop the moment this message is told. Now, the Creator has ordained another way. He has ordained that human creatures should be kind to one another and help each other. When a woman visits another house, she must help at the work in progress and talk pleasantly. If she relates jokes, they must always be upon herself. If she speaks harshly of others, the woman of the house must say, I remember the desires of our Creator. I cannot hear what you say. I cannot take that evil story. So the trouble is ended there. Now the Creator says that the woman is true who refuses to hear evil reports. She cuts off the evil at its beginning, and it does not go from her. So she has one favor before the Creator. So they said, and he said, Inei Hayuk. Section 24. Now another message. The Creator who has made you is sad. The Creator made every person with a different face. Now, a man talks saying that he is far more handsome than other men. He boasts that he is exceedingly handsome and grand. But the Creator says all this is very wrong. The vain must repent and never boast again. So they said. Now animals seem alike to you. A wild animal that you have once seen, you cannot easily say you have seen again. But people are different before you. Now when a man is handsome, let him thank his Creator for his comeliness. So they said. Now furthermore, a man says, I am the strongest man of all. I've never met people like that. This is strange to me. Uh, there is no one who can throw me to the ground. A man who talks thus is a boaster before the people. Now the Creator says that such boasting is evil. The Creator endowed the man with strength, and therefore he should not boast, but thank the giver who is the Creator. So tell your people these things. So they said. Now, furthermore, a man says, I am the swiftest runner of the world. No, no one can outrun me. But he regards himself as a mighty man and boasts before his people. Now, the Creator says that such boasting is evil. The Creator endowed the man with his speed, and he should offer thanks and not boast. So we, the messengers, say your people must cease their boasting. So they said, and he said, Ini Heok. Section 25. Now another message. Three things that our younger brethren, the white people, are right to follow. Now, the first, the white man works on a tract of cultivated ground and harvests food for his family. So if he should die, they if he should die, they still have the ground for help. If any of your people have cultivated ground, let them not be proud on that account. If one is proud, there is sin within him, there be no pride. But if there be no pride, there is no sin. Now, the second thing, it is the way of a white man builds a house. He builds one warm and fine appearing, so if he dies, the family has the house for help. Whoso among you does this does right, always providing there is no pride. If there is pride, it is evil, but if there is none, it is well. Now, third, the white man keeps horses and cattle. Now, there is no evil in this, for they are a help to his family. So if he dies, his family has the stock for help. Now, all this is right if there be no pride. No evil will follow this practice if the animals are well fed, treated kindly, and not overworked. Tell this to your people. So they said, and he said, Ini Heuk. Okay, I'm going to stop right here because I don't know how long this goes. I might actually continue this, but in another video. We're coming up on the hour mark. So all this stuff, okay, so you can make the argument, oh, well, this is all just like morality that's common among all cultures and da 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 da. But the part that really gets me is, uh, avoiding strong drink and alcohol, um, but also just kind of like the tone. The tone of it really feels really in tune uh, with the church and its teachings, and just the way that that they speak to him. I don't know how well this is recorded, uh, based on what they actually said, but um, it all sounds very right. And can we know for sure that it was the three Nephites? No, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would tend to give this story the benefit of a doubt. There's nothing really extravagant about it. Um, it's not a very well known story, but it's been recorded, and I'm glad that this was sent to me. So thank you, Christine, and especially to your mom. Um, yeah, I might actually continue reading this because I want to see if there's anything else that comes out of it. But for right now, I'll end it here. And then there is another one somebody had sent me. This was something that she found on her in Family Search. It's a story in her family about the three Nephites, and so she's going to send that to me. And I don't know, there might be others that come in, but it's good to know, to like see these different things and have an idea what the three Nephites in John have been doing, because up until this point, it's actually been kind of just a big mystery to me. Um, it seems as though they may not be here all the time, or we know that they can appear to who they want to, um, right? And it sounds like they're under the direction of the Lord. I'm not entirely sure if they're always here on the earth, or if maybe they operate from the city of Enoch, or who knows where they are. But it's interesting that they are not always, um, I guess, visible, or they have the ability to appear in dreams or visions, and also in person too, I would imagine. So lots of stuff to think about, but it's really cool to read all this. All right, so if you guys haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it. Um, I forgot to do a missionary picture at the beginning, but I have some more that people have sent me. So if you would like to send me your mission photos, a few of your favorite mission photos, I'll feature them at the beginning of a video. So yeah, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, make sure to share this with anyone that's interested in the three Nephites, or Native Americans, Lamanites, and I'll talk to you guys later.